So hello students, welcome again to Power Tutorials, and today we have already covered part 1 of life process of chapter 6 of NCERT class 10. Now we are going to do second part, which is starting from heart. So let's see about heart first, and then we'll discuss about transportation in plants as well. So for hearts, let me use the color. So heart symbol will be like this. It has 4 chambers. The top 2 chambers are called atrium. Bottom 2 are called ventricles. We have tricuspid valve here and we have bicuspid valve here. So valve I already mentioned in morning that valve is nothing but to avoid backflow. So here tricuspid valve is to avoid backflow from this is to avoid backflow. And this is right side and this is left side. You may be wondering why it is right and left instead of left and right. So this is considered in this way. Suppose okay, let's consider the box, then it will be easier to understand. So consider this as a heart. Okay, so if you see human beings, suppose this is a heart now. So what I am doing is, so heart will be closed structure. So I cannot study the left and right portion if it is a closed structure. So what I am doing is I am cutting this heart into horizontally into 2 halves. Now became in this way. So if you see like this, if you cut like in the vertical way, this will be left and this will be right. Now what I am doing is after cutting it into horizontally, I am just opening it up. So now we have 2 hearts, 2 halves of heart. So this is one half and this is another half. So this half, whatever is right and left now became left and right now became right and left because I am just turning it back. So this heart I am taking it here and thus I am studying the part. So thus way whatever is left here and right here now became right and left. So this very less people will explain this, so just remember this now. So whatever is right and left to the whole heart, I am just cutting it horizontally and just opening up heart now became right and left. So this is right and this is left of heart. So in this way what I am explaining here, we have right, this is the right chamber, this is left chamber. So whichever is present this side are called right atrium and right ventricle, and this is called left atrium and left ventricle. And for these two we have valves here. So valves I already mentioned that valves are mainly to avoid backflow. So we doesn't want blood to flow from atriums to ventricles. The same way for left part we have bicuspid valve. So this also is to avoid backflow and this is to avoid backflow from left atrium to left ventricle. So this way we have 2 things, which is tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve. Let's see how the blood is flowing to these chambers and such way it is getting purified. So for this we need to understand another structure. Let's consider it a box part. Okay, suppose this is heart. I'm just dividing into 4 chambers. The 4 chambers are here. This is right side and this is left side. This is atrium, ventricle, atrium, ventricle. So what is happening? From our body organs, we are collecting carbon dioxide blood, that is deoxygenated blood. From deoxygenated blood we are keeping and pushing into right atrium, and this is done through vena cava. You may be wondering what is vena cava. So here we have vena cava as two parts. We have upper and bottom vena cava. So what is vena cava? Before going to vena cava, I'll just revise what you have studied in previous part regarding blood vessels, that is of artery. So here I have explained about arteries and veins. So what I have explained in arteries, it transports oxygenated blood from heart to other body parts, whereas veins collects CO2, that is carbon dioxide blood from body parts to heart. The same way, so whatever the deoxygenated blood is present in the body organs, it is collecting through veins. So but all the veins of the bottom part will be collected again and it will be stored to bottom vena cava, whereas whatever is present in the So whatever is present in the upper body part, all those veins will be combined to form as upper vena cava, and those two will again get combined to form single vena cava. So this vena cava is containing deoxygenated blood from all the body organs. Now this deoxygenated blood from the right atrium will be pushed to left ventricle using from the tricuspid valve. So tricuspid valve is mainly used to avoid backflow. If it doesn't want the blood flow from ventricle to atrium, the blood flow should always happen from atrium to ventricle. Now from here we have a separate artery and we call, okay, let me pick color, and we call this artery as pulmonary artery. So this pulmonary artery is the only artery which carries deoxygenated blood. So this deoxygenated blood from right ventricle is now transferred to which body part? You can guess, it is lungs. So as you know, what will happen in lungs? We have alveolar part. So there the blood vessels are present. So there the exchange of gases happens. So whatever the carbon dioxide there in this blood is now transferred to lungs, and from here we are getting oxygenated blood. And this vein or the blood vessel is pulmonary vein. So this is the only vein in our body which carries oxygenated blood. So this is the only vein which carries oxygenated blood, and this is the only artery which carries deoxygenated blood. So from now we got what are the deoxygenated blood we got. It is transferred to right atrium, from right atrium to right ventricle, from right ventricle it is moving to lungs, and the carbon dioxide blood or the deoxygenated blood is now transferred to oxygenated blood, and this is moved to left atrium. Now from left atrium using the bicuspid valve it will move to left ventricle, and from here we need to get transferred to our body organs. And this is done to aorta. You have to remember these terms. One is aorta, one is vena cava. So vena cava is a connection of all the arteries, whereas from aorta we will get distributed into all the ventricles. So each body part will have separate ventricles. So from each ventricle it will get to different body organs, like from heart, body, hands, muscles. Each and every element which requires oxygenated blood. So it will separate into multiple arteries, and those multiple arteries will get connected to multiple body organs. Again, the body organs, what is happening? The respiration is happening in each body organ. It's not respiration, okay. Whatever it is consumed, that glucose or water, so it creates carbon dioxide blood inside it. So after the carbon dioxide blood is present, so that carbon dioxide blood is get collected from each body organ and it is sent to vena cava. Upper and bottom vena cava presents. So those two will get combined to form single vena cava. From here, the deoxygenated blood is going with the help of pulmonary artery. So no pulmonary. So using vena cava going to right atrium. From right atrium using tricuspid valve, it is going to right ventricle. From right ventricle using pulmonary artery, it is moving to lungs. Now the blood becomes oxygenated blood, and this oxygenated blood using pulmonary vein, it is coming to left atrium, and from left atrium to left ventricle, and left ventricle to again body. So you can understand here, the blood is coming to heart 2 times, here and here. That's why we call this circulation as double circulation. So it will be asking in your board exam, why the heart circulation is called double circulation. Why it is called double circulation? Because blood is entering into heart twice. That's why we call this as a double circulation. So you can also mention, first time deoxygenated blood from body organs to heart, and this is to right atrium. The second is oxygenated blood from lungs to heart, and here it is left atrium. So as we are getting blood twice into the heart, we call this as a double circulation. Thus way, whatever the deoxygenated blood is coming to right atrium, it is going to right ventricle. From right ventricle it is going to lungs, and lungs to left atrium, from left to left ventricle, and from left ventricle it is going to again body organs. So here oxygenated blood is going to body organs, whereas carbon dioxide blood which is present in the body organs is moving to. So that's why we call it as a circulation. It keeps on going, and this way human being, the normal heartbeat we scale it as 72 times per minute. So per minute you can understand how much heart it is beating, and if it is required for more energy, that is during running or during any exercise, the heartbeat becomes high, and if it is more relaxing and the body doesn't require much energy, that time the heartbeat might be little low, but it will not go beyond 70. So this with respect to transportation, the blood and blood was already explained. So this is with respect to heart. So for heart, if they are explained, you have to mention this diagram as well as this diagram as well, and you have to mention how the blood is flowing. Here, now see about transportation in plants. So plants also require transportation, that is transportation of carbon dioxide, water, as well as the food which is getting generated, that is glucose which is getting generated. So that has to be transferred. So let's see how it is getting transferred. Transportation. In plants. For this we have two important parts, which are xylem and phloem. Xylem is required for water, whereas phloem is required for food. So whatever the plants, how they will get water? The plants will get water from soil, that is through roots. Suppose we have plant like this or tree. So ground contains water if it is for larger trees. If it is smaller trees, plants, we keep water inside the soil such that the roots get absorbed. So what are the roots are present in the beneath the soil? Those absorbs water, and from here it will be sent through upper body parts, that is through each stem, leaf and all. So how it is being sent? It is sent through a process called transpiration. So what is transpiration? It is a process of sucking the water from soil such that each other body part of plant can be reached. Here the body parts are nothing but leaves and stems. So whatever how the pressure is getting created, so whatever the water, excess water or is happening and which has to be sent out, that is happening through water vapor. So what is happening at the leaf end? So whatever the water is sucked, so water will be sent out as water vapor. So during this process, the conversion of water to water vapor, some suction pressure will be created such that the water which is present in the stems or the roots will be sent through the leaves. So this sucking of water from the soil from each body part from roots to each body part is called transpiration. In this process only we get the sucking pressure, that is the pressure through which the water can be sucked from roots to leaves. The same way, another important point is this is one way. The water will not go down, it will only go up from roots to leaves. Let's see about food. For food we have the process called, and this is happening through xylem. The second one is translocation. So what is translocation? The same way water as I mentioned, but here we have the food creation at the stems as well as leaves. So this food which is getting created in the leaves has to be transferred to other body parts. I mean whether leaves also, stem or each and every part of plant also, this food has to be transferred. So this is happening through phloem. So what is happening is the food which is getting created in the leaves is transferred through phloem to other parts like stem, root and even other leaves as well. So in this way the food as well as water is getting transferred in plants. So respiration, transpiration and nutrition are done. Let's see the last one, which is excretion. So what is the definition of excretion? It is removal of nitrogenous wastes from body. So direct definition, which is stating that the removal of nitrogenous waste from body is called excretion. So for this, our human body, before going to human body, let me explain regarding unicellular organisms like amoeba and paramecium. So what happens in them, and then we'll go to the human body example, and also plants will be covered, and later we'll go to human body. So let's see about first unicellular organisms. So for unicellular organisms like amoeba or paramecium, it has only single cell. So amoeba is a shapeless organism, it can be any shape. So what happens, how the food is getting absorbed in amoeba and how it is getting digested and transferred. So amoeba is this, it has a nucleus inside it. So what happens is, if any food it has to get absorbed, first it will change the body structure as like this. So these are nothing but paramecium, parenchyma, it's pseudopodia. Pseudopodia has a finger-like structures such that it can capture any food material. So now, suppose it has some food material now. So what happens is, after some time, the food will get engulfed into the body, and a food vacuole will be created. This is nothing but food vacuole. So inside the food vacuole, the digestion happens, and whatever the wastes is present, it will just excrete out same way as in pseudopodia, and it will like get energy. So here it has only single cell, so whatever the absorption digestion has to be happen, it will happen in the single cell. So it has a nucleus, it will absorb using pseudopodia, the finger-like structures will be coming out so that it can capture directly, and then the food vacuole will be created where the digestion happens, and then the waste is whatever is present, it will be sent out. Same way for paramecium, it has hair-like structures. So using this hair, it captures the food material, and then it will move to the certain position in the body. It gets digested, and same way the rest other part, the wastage water is present, will be sent out. So in this way, the digestion or the excretion, each and everything happens in paramecium. This is amoeba and this is paramecium. Let's see about excretion in plants. So plants also produce some wastages. So what are the wastages in plants? Main wastages in plants are oxygen, excess water, and also few nitrogenous wastes like urea and all. So how these wastes are getting separated out? The first one, the oxygen, as we know, using transpiration process, oxygen is sent out, as well as using photosynthesis. Oxygen is sent out using transpiration, excess water is sent out as vapor. Using photosynthesis, you already know oxygen getting out, and the rest wastage or whatever the wastage is present, will be sent out as gum or jelly structures on stem. So you might have seen some plants, if you touch it, you can see some jelly type of structure or gum structures. So these are nothing but the wastes produced by the plant. And that's third one. And if some other nitrogenous wastes are present, yes, so those will be moved to leaves, and those will be shed out, like they will lose it. You can see some dry leaves will be getting fall. So in this dry leaves also you can see the wastes are also present. So plants, what you will do is, what are the wastes are present, like using water transpiration, we're using the water, excess water will be sent out. Using photosynthesis, oxygen excess will be sent out. The other wastes can be using gum or jelly type structures on the stem. You can find some wastes will be sent out. At the same time, the other wastes will move to the other plant, other leaves which are about having less life, and then will be shed out to get separated from that wastes. So in this way, the excretion of in plants will happen. Let's see in human body how the excretion happens. So what are the nitrogen reservoirs which are produced in the body? Those will be separated out. For this we have a separate human part which is kidney. So kidneys are located at the back of abdomen, and their shape is bean-like structures. So human body has pair of kidneys. These are bean-like structure and these are connected. Every body part has arteries and veins. The same way, kidney also has arteries and veins. We call them as renal artery and renal vein. And the blood which is present in the kidneys will be filtered out, and after filtration it will be passed through uterus to urinary bladder. From there it will send out through urethra. So what kidneys will do is, it absorbs all the digested, the blood every time. Okay, let me keep in separate way. It's simply, we can say that it's a filter of blood. So what happens in our water filter? It will capture whatever the unwanted wastes are present, or dust or whatever it is. So it will capture it, and the purified water will be sent to our human in the bottle or something. The same way, so whatever blood is sent through kidneys, it will filter that blood, and whatever the wastes are there, it will send separately to this, using this uterus to urinary bladder, and then through urethra, and from here urine will be separated out. So urine is nothing but the wastes which are present in blood. So it will be dissolved in water, and that water will be separated out as urine. So this is renal vein. This is renal artery, because artery contains oxygenated blood. So let's keep it in red color. So what is happening? So whatever the blood is present in the human body, it is moving to kidneys, and inside kidneys we have smallest particles called nephrons. So these are the main ones. Like we have alveoli in lungs, the same way we have nephrons in kidneys. So in what is the nephron structure? And the main part I'll just show. It has a Bowman's capsule. Inside it we have glomerulus. So what glomerulus will do is, it will glomerulus is a bag-like structure which has a large number of blood vessels inside it. So what will happen is, the blood will flow through high pressure, such that whatever the dust is there, it will get filtered out, and that will be sent through a pipe-like structure. Here it will again separated out to multiple veins, and then this is collecting duct. This is Bowman's capsule. This is called proximal convoluted tube. This is called distal convoluted tube. This loop is called loop of Henle. This is collecting duct. The system of nerves which are blood vessels are present here are called glomerulus. So we also call the filtration happening in the kidney as glomerulus filtration, because the filtration is happening in glomerulus part. So what is glomerulus? It is a structure, sac-like structure, which contains a lot of blood vessels inside. So what will happen if you want in a similar structure? We can say, suppose this is glomerulus, which is having a large number of blood vessels inside it. So whatever the blood is flowing here, it will pass through high pressure. So due to high pressure, what will happen is, whatever the blood is coming, it will get filtered out in glomerulus. So the filtered blood will be coming out. So this filtered blood, whatever is present, it will be again sent to the human body using pulmonary artery. Okay, so it is collecting and then filtering out, and the filtered blood will again pumped to entire body. The same way, whatever the dust which is getting collected here, so that will be mixed with water, and that dust filtered, the dust water is called urine, and that will be sent out through urethra. So you have urinary bladder here, so it has some capacity to hold, and once it is almost filled, then you will get a neural signal to our brain that your urinary bladder has been filled, and the urine has to be excreted out, and then will be a sensation, and then we can excrete the urine. So if they ask what is happening during excretion, then we have to first explain the kidney, tell about uterus, urinary bladder and urethra, and then explain about neuron, explain glomerulus filtration, how it is happening. And then the filtered blood will be captured using this part. Using this part, the filtered blood will be captured, and the urine will be then collected duct. The urine will be separated out, and this collected duct will be connected to uterus for each kidney, and this uterus will connect to urinary bladder. From here, it will go to urine. So in this way, all the steps, that is from nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion, are done. And I will cover few more topics, small. I think the first one is lymph. I haven't discussed about this lymph before. So what is lymph? So during, as I mentioned, in the intestinal process, if any small excretion happens, like, let me use red color for blood vessels. So there can be cases that from this also, the outside, it can separate it out. It can be useful proteins also, or any other materials like glucose. If these are getting separated out from the system, not in the blood vessels, but is separating out in the human body. So what will happen if this, even the waste is also sometimes get separated out. So what will happen is, we have a separate tissue in our body which are called as lymph tissue, or you can call it as lymph glands. So what it will do is, this will collect whatever the separated out proteins or the liquids, and the lymph is colorless water or colorless liquid. So we can't say it is a blood, but it is a colorless liquid which is containing proteins, glucose and other vessels, but these are not the required amount. Like whatever is present inside the blood, it has to be present inside the vessels, but there are cases that sometimes it might lose out due to some reasons, and that loose amount of the loose water which is collected, which is containing proteins, glucose and all, will be collected by the lymph glands. So this will store, and if it requires to send again to blood, from here it will again send to blood, or else it will store and just move to the excretion process. So this helps to for the collection of the blood which is coming out due to unnecessary reasons. So this is respect to lymph glands. The plants I think already covered. Transpiration is done. Collection, digestion also I explained. Transportation is also done. Okay, so I think everything is done with respect to plants as well as for humans. Nutrition is the first part where we acquire the food, we collect the food and we do it, and then it is respect to digestion, sorry, not digestion, respiration, where the energy is getting consumed, and then we have the transportation, how using blood vessels and heart, how it is getting transferred to each and every part, and the last one is the excretion, where all the nitrogenous wastes which are present in the blood were filtered out, and the next part with the help of urine we are excreting out the required blood, the wastes of the body. Let's see a few questions which are present in our NCERT textbook at the chapter end. I'll study the question and we'll try to solve. If it is smaller question, I'll just leave it the question itself, and if you have the answer, kindly comment it once you have the equation. And the top first 3 right answers comments, I will take a screenshot, I will keep it in the next video. So whoever all has seeing this video, I suggest you to check these questions, and if you know the answer, kindly comment so that it can be useful for others as well. And in the next Saturday, I will post those screenshots in my video so that it will be encouraging for others. Okay, one more point I was thought to say, but for this. So have you ever heard about dialysis? So this will happen, this is a kind of treatment of purifying of blood, so that you can also say it is as an artificial purification. The kidneys, if for any human body, if both the kidneys are failed, like it is not able to filtrate, then they perform dialysis process. So dialysis process, there is a machine which filters it. So what they will do is, they will send 2 pipes, one is for intake and one is for output to human body. So the blood from the human body will be sent to this machine, it will filtrate and it will remove all the unwanted wastages, and the purified blood will be sent to human body. So have you ever heard of dialysis? And it's confirmed that it's kind of artificial filtration when the kidneys of the human body doesn't function. Okay, I'll study the questions and I'll just say the answers. If it is required to write, then I'll write in this paper. So the first question, it is asking the kidneys in human body is a part of system. So this I think everyone should know. So I'm just pasting the question here. Kidneys in human body are part of excretion, digestion, nutrition, transportation, respiration. I think everyone should know the answer. As I mentioned, the first 3 right answers will be taken a screenshot and posted in the next video. So this everyone should answer it. Xylem in plants are responsible for. So this I already explained. It is responsible for transpiration. That is for transport of water. For this question, you have to tell me the answer. Second one I already told you. It is transport of water. Third question. Autotrophic mode of nutrition which requires which options? So this also you have to tell me. I will not even post the options. You have to tell. Autotrophs requires dash for nutrition. It should be 3 ounces, not only 1, it should be 3 ounces. You have to tell me those ounces. The breakdown of pyruvate to give carbon dioxide, water and energy takes place in. So this answer I will tell. The answer is mitochondria. Mitochondria nothing but the powerhouse of cell where the energy gets combined. So pyruvate gets combined into the energy, that is carbon dioxide, water and energy at mitochondria. Let's see 5th question. It is asking how are fats digested in our bodies? Where does this process takes place? So fats are digested in the small intestine. So how it is done? First of all, we have bile juice from liver. So this helps to break down of large fats to small fats. And then using pancreatic juice, this is further broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. Let's see 6th question. What is the role of saliva in the digestive food? The saliva contains salivary amylase. So what this will help? It helps for conversion of starch to sugar. What are the necessary conditions for autotrophic nutrition and what are its byproducts? What are the necessary conditions for autotrophic nutrition? It should have sunlight, carbon dioxide and water. What are its byproducts? The byproducts are oxygen, water and glucose. This water is excess water. Glucose is already byproduct, C6H12O6. And oxygen we already know. What are the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Name some organisms that use the anaerobic mode of respiration. So anaerobic mode of respiration I already explained. The first one is fungi and yeast examples, where you will convert pyruvate to ethanol. Sorry. What is it? Okay. So this I already explained here. We have aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic is the one which is happening with the help of oxygen. So with the help of oxygen, what are the glucose is present, so that glucose is converted into carbon dioxide, water and energy, and this is happening in mitochondria, that is powerhouse of cell, and the process is and the type of energy we call it as ATPs, that is adenosine triphosphate. For anaerobic we have two cases, which are first anaerobic conversion to ethanol and carbon dioxide is formed as yeast as well as fungi are the examples, whereas for anaerobic it also happens in muscles. So here it is producing lactic acid and carbon dioxide and energy. So let's see next question. How are the alveoli designed to maximize the exchange of gases? So alveoli are the ones which are present in lungs. So after it is the let me show the diagram. It is happening through diffusion. Okay, here is it. So how alveoli are designed to help for the transportation, I mean the exchange of gases. So alveoli are present in lungs. So you can see here, whatever the area is getting, it is through pharynx, larynx, trachea, and the next to bronchus. The bronchus is separated to alveoli. So each alveoli is a bag-like structures which are connected to blood vessels. So using diffusion process, the carbon dioxide which is present in the blood will be captured and it will sent into the alveoli, and the oxygen which is present in alveoli will be sent into the blood. So in this way, the exchange of gases happens in the alveoli. So what would be the consequences of a deficiency of hemoglobin in our bodies? So what is hemoglobin? The main purpose, it is present in in the red blood cells, which is mainly, it also contains iron in it, and also mainly useful for the transfer of oxygenated blood. So if hemoglobin content is less, then definitely the red blood cells as well as the iron content will be less in our body. At the same time, the oxygenated blood will be transferred in a less amount. So this way the hemoglobin content should be present such that it will be helpful for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide in our body, and also to transfer oxygen to other body parts. Describe double circulation in human bodies and why it is necessary. So this all I had explained. So heart will pump 2 times. I mean the blood will be inserted into the heart 2 times, and this way we call it as double circulation. Got it. So this is double circulation. So what is double circulation? The blood is entering into heart 2 times. So first one is deoxygenated blood from body to heart, that is into the right atrium, and the second is oxygenated blood from lungs to heart, this is to left atrium. So this is very important since that it has to follow this way. So you have to explain this part, that from deoxygenated blood from body organs using vena cava, it is going to right atrium. From right atrium using tricuspid valve, it is going to right ventricle. From right ventricle, from the using pulmonary artery, is going to lungs, and from again lungs, the oxygen and carbon dioxide get interchanged. So oxygenated blood from lungs will go to pulmonary vein. Sorry, using pulmonary vein, it is going to left atrium. From left atrium using bicuspid valve, it is going to left ventricle. From left ventricle using aorta is going to body organs. This is where double circulation is important, because it has to pump deoxygenated blood to heart, from heart deoxygenated blood to lungs, from lungs to oxygenated blood to heart, from heart again to body parts. So what are the differences between transport of materials for xylem and phloem? Xylem is required to transport water, whereas phloem is required to transport food. So how it is done? At the xylem, it is happening through transpiration, because the water vapor which is getting created creates a suction pressure such that it sucks water from the soil. Whereas phloem, it is using translocation. So the translocation is the process where the food is generated at the leaves will be transferred to other body parts. And this is, it can be 2-way, but this is only 1-way, because the water which is generated from soil has to be moved to other body parts. It shouldn't be in reverse way. Whereas for food, it can be in different ways also, like as it is creating a leaves and stem, it will be transferred to other body parts. Okay, so in this way all the questions of NCERT are being done. I have few more questions. Okay, I think that I don't have the questions. Fine. So I think almost all the topics are done. If you have any doubts with respect to any topic which I have explained during the morning hour and today's hour, kindly let me know so that I can check and comment respectively. And also, if you like the video, please do like and share with your friends who might read the revision for this chapter, as well as if any clarifications are needed, I am ready to help in the comments. As mentioned, I have posted 2 questions in this video. The first one, 2 multiple choice questions. Okay, I need to check. Yeah. Yeah, I have asked for 2 questions. Okay, let me share the questions again. I have asked the first question. The kidneys in human beings are the part of which system? Nutrition, respiration, excretion and transportation. So it belongs to which one, you have to comment. The second question. Autotrophic mode of nutrition requires which things? So these two are the questions I have asked in this live question. So if you know those answers, do comment. So once if it is correct, the top 3 answers will be posted in the next video. And also I will check if any comments, any doubts are there, I will answer immediately in the comment section. Thank you.